a new coding system. I'd like to thank everyone for coming to join us today. My name is Jeff Lindstedt, and I'm the Vice President of Clinical Technology with Eclipse. I've been with Eclipse since 2008, and have been working with clinical technology since 1999 when I started with Phase Forward. I've worked with various clinical technologies, including CDMS, EDC, safety, IRT, and of course, quite a few different coding systems. Now I'd like to give my colleague Mo Lamb a moment to introduce himself.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Mo Lamb. I'm a senior clinical programmer here at Eclipse. I've been with Eclipse for almost 3 years. Prior to joining Eclipse, I was at Oracle Life Science. And prior to the Oracle Life Science acquisition of Phase Forward, I was at Phase Forward.
Great, thank you very much, Mo. So today we're going to be discussing coding and some of the things to consider when looking for a new coding system. In my experience, coding software is often one of the most overlooked clinical technologies. Coders are often subjected to using simplistic tools that were built in-house many years ago, or coding tools built into an off-the-shelf software designed for another purpose like EDC or safety data. Or sometimes, as a lot of people are facing right now, your favorite software product actually retires before you. And that's a situation a lot of people are facing right now, being with a system that they really like, but the system itself is retiring. This can result in a fragmented or non-efficient coding environment where coders must learn many different software tools and manage multiple installations of dictionaries, or a new need to go out and find a new software when you're happy with your current software. Today we're going to consider some of the factors in choosing a new system. We're going to be looking at workflow, or considerations around workflow, dictionary management functionality, customization and functionality, rights and roles, data migration, and we're also going to be doing a brief demonstration. Workflow is really very crucial when it comes to coding. It's important to think about your current workflow when you're choosing a new system. Some of the questions you may want to ask yourself is the workflow I'm using right now one you would choose, or was it something that was dictated by your current system? Are there things you would change, or do you need a new system that's really flexible enough to match your current processes and current workflow? This is also a great time to look at your processes and SOPs and integrations to see what you can gain for efficiencies, free up resources, and improve your quality. For example, you may be tired of manually loading in your terms, and maybe you want to add in some integrations. Or you could be a CRO that requires multiple workflows for different clients, and you need a system that can really help you with that. Often you'll see your safety group has a different workflow than your clinical group. These are all things you want to take into consideration when it comes to workflow and choosing a new system. If any of these cases are true, you want to carefully look at the configurability of the coding systems you're considering. Does the software have a robust workflow capability? For example, or when you start looking, everyone in your coding process should be considered when you switch to a new system, as it's a good time really to address any issues you have with your current process. At Eclipse, we not only work with our own coding system, but other coding systems as well. We really recommend choosing a standalone coding system and a company that understands the importance of process to help you implement it. Of course, dictionaries are at the heart of any coding system, and this makes dictionary management one of the most crucial functionalities of the coding system. You will want to look for a coding system that is flexible enough to support all of your dictionaries, whether they be standard or custom. The system should offer easy and intuitive dictionary loading that can be performed by your dictionary administrator. In the event that you do not have a dictionary administrator, you will want to ensure that the system vendor can support this activity, or they can provide a SaaS offering that will meet your needs. The system should also support multiple active versions and languages. This is especially important for CROs or if you have long-running studies that you will want to keep on a certain dictionary version. When it comes time to move your study over to a new dictionary version, the coding system should provide tools that will help you determine the impact on your coded terms ahead of the move and provide recommendations for any items that are impacted. Configurability and functionality are also key factors in a coding system. The most popular features we rely on every day help us perform our job efficiently and accurately. Things like robust coding algorithms, custom synonym lists, and custom stop word lists are a must to maximize the effectiveness of your autoencoder. An easy-to-use web interface and custom workflow and coding propagation all enhance the manual coding experience. And solid administration tools and interfaces, dictionary management, and easy configuration, along with a robust integration layer, will help you drive down costs of maintenance and free up IT resources. All of the above are important things to look at in any coding system. It's also important to choose a vendor that will listen to your needs and work with you to grow the software. Having a single coding system to handle all of your coding needs helps reduce costs by simplifying dictionary management, reducing training, and reducing IT resources. When all of your coding is performed in a central software, it becomes important that the software has proper permissions and access rights. In a complex environment, it's necessary to ensure that users are only able to access the coding terms and features that they should have access to. You may need to go ahead and restrict access to certain verbatims based on data source. For example, a safety system versus an EDC system, or trial A versus trial B. You may also need to limit access based on a flow step. You may wish to have a coder and an approver set up, or a coder and a confirmer and an approver if you're outsourcing your coding. You also need to be able to restrict based on feature. Only some users may be able to create and manage synonyms, propagate codes, or run the autoencoder. It's important to have the ability to set up manager roles so the coding manager can distribute the terms to various coders. Coding systems often serve as a location where you house all of your coded data. They hold key information such as which verbatim terms have been loaded into the coding system, which terms have been coded, and identification keys to determine if the source system has modified the verbatim or its supporting data. All this is important to ensure duplicate data is not loaded and coded, and modified data gets recoded as needed. In certain circumstances, you may be able to keep your existing data in your current coding system until your study ends. But for long-running studies, this can add costs such as dictionary maintenance, hardware and software costs, and also have a toll on your IT resources and your coders as they have to maintain and use multiple systems. So it becomes very important to examine what data you are currently coding and how long you will need to support this data. Once you've determined this, you will want to choose a vendor that is able to help you decide which data to migrate and is able to migrate the data in an efficient and cost-friendly manner. We are now going to watch a brief demonstration by Mo of the loading of coded and uncoded terms into the Eclipse coding system. The Eclipse coding system can easily be configured to match the data fields in your current existing systems, and it can additionally be configured to display certain fields while storing others in the database and not displaying them. We are then able to quickly customize the built-in data migration tool to take all the data extracted from your current system and load it into our system. Once it's loaded into our system, we'll be able to merge the data, which will automatically sync it with our system so it can be tracked, coded, and recoded as needed. So we will now see a brief demo.
In today's demo, I will be migrating coding data into the Eclipse coding system. When you log into the Eclipse coding browser, you are presented with a set of coding set definitions here on the left. A coding set is a collection of workflows that allows the coder to interact with their coding terms. Here we see the ConMed drug C format coding set definition. The code items workflow allows me to code my ConMed terms. The confirm coding workflow allows me to confirm the codes that have been selected. The approval workflow allows me to approve all codes that have been confirmed. And the clear approved items workflow allows me to clear codes that have been approved. Once a code is cleared, it will reappear in the code item workflow so the user can recode. These coding sets, as well as the workflows within, are configurable. Only the users who belong to the specific groups and roles can have access. For example, only users assigned to the specific group can see their coding set, and users assigned to specific roles can see that specific workflow. For this migration demo, I have created two coding sets, WebMedra and the WebUDD. I will be loading external data into the WebMedra coding set, and after the load and merging of data, these terms will appear in the code item workflow so that I can begin to code and interact with those terms. Here's the spreadsheet of the adverse events terms that I will be loading into the WebMedra coding definition. So this first list contains just raw data that have not yet been coded. Similarly, here is the empty WebUDD coding set. I will be loading a second spreadsheet of drug names and its associating codes. And these will appear in the clear approved items coding set. Here is the UDD spreadsheet that I will be loading into this UDD coding set definition. So as you can see, the drug names along with the codes that is applicable to these drug names will all be loaded into the Eclipse coding system, and they will be displayed in the browser as coded items. Once these drug names are loaded into the WHODD coding set, I will have the opportunity to clear the codes and then recode them within the Eclipse coding browser. To load this data, I will be using the loader utility. This loading utility allows me to perform various administration tasks. For example, I can create and load new coding dictionaries. I can load both WHODD dictionaries as well as Medra, as well as custom dictionaries. The utility also allows me to load synonym lists or stop words into a specific coding definition. The utility will also allow me to load uncoded terms as well as terms that have already been coded from a third-party system. I'm going to start loading into our WHODD coding definition, and I'll be selecting the spreadsheet that I displayed earlier of all of our drug names and their associating codes. So we've got 99 records loaded. In order for me to display them in the coding browser, I also need to perform a merge. So again, I select the web WHODD coding definition. I'm prompted to confirm the 99 records that were loaded previously. And once the records have been loaded and merged, I can view them in the coding browser. So here are the 99 drug names, as well as their associating codes from the external system, all loaded into the Eclipse coding system. I can clear one of these codes. So let me clear Advil. Okay, so now Advil has no longer displays in this list. And instead, it now is displayed in the code items workflow. So I'm going to go ahead and code Advil. I can expand this view to see the additional information, such as the ATC codes. I'll select this code. And once Advil has been coded, it will appear in the confirm coding workflow. I'll go ahead and confirm this. And finally, I will approve the confirm code. And so once again, Advil appears in my clear approved workflow. Next, I'm going to load data into the web Medra coding set. So I return to my loader utility. And this time I select the web Medra coding set definition. And I'll select the Medra terms, the adverse events terms spreadsheet. "163 records have been loaded. Now I'm going to merge these records, confirm the 163 records. I'm going through the loading and the merging steps one at a time for the purpose of this demonstration. But the Eclipse coding system has a very strong integration suite. So I could have easily perform all these tasks seamlessly through an automated integration. So once the terms have been loaded into the web measure coding definition, they appear under the code items workflow. So these are the raw terms not yet encoded, which is why they appear in the code items workflow. I'm going ahead and code one of these terms. I'm going to select this one since we have multiples of this term. So because we have multiples of this term, I'm prompted to propagate this particular code. So once the code has been propagated, I can come here to confirm the code. I also have the option to create a synonym for this particular term. And once the code is confirmed, I can approve. And once the code is approved, they now show up in my clear approval workflow. This concludes the demonstration of loading uncoded terms as well as coded terms from an external source into the Eclipse coding system.
Great, thank you, Mo. I hope today's webinar helps you start to think about the process of choosing a new coding system. There are many factors to consider when you are choosing a new system, and it can often be overwhelming or easy to overlook things if you've been working with your current system for years. We saw a brief demonstration of data migration with the Eclipse coding system today, but we'd be happy to give you a full in-depth demo of our product. If you'd like to schedule a demo, please reach out to us by phone or via our website. There are really many factors in choosing a new system, and we talked about quite a few of them. It's also important to select a vendor that will be a good partner. In addition to providing a modern, clean coding system, they should be able to support you when it comes to business process, maintenance, and services. You should really look for a vendor that is actively supporting and adding features to their coding system as well. So this concludes the presentation portion of our webinar, and I would now like to ask Morgan, our moderator, to come on and to open it up for any questions that anyone may have.
Thank you, Jeff. We have quite a few questions that came in, so I'll try to get to all of them. But one of the first questions was, what type of services does Eclipse offer around coding?
We provide technical and business consulting, including process consulting, installation, and validation around our own coding system, as well as other coding systems.
Thank you, Jeff. Another one of the questions, we are a smaller organization. Do you have offerings geared towards us?
Yes, we have many different offerings. We have, in addition to just consulting to help choose the best system or process consulting around setting up the coding, we also offer a full SaaS offering with our software, as well as implementations geared towards small and large organizations with our software as well as other softwares.
Thank you, Jeff. And another one of the questions, what type of integrations does the Eclipse coding system support?
All right, Mo here. I'll take this one. So in the demo, I showed the loading utility, which basically took on the loading of a spreadsheet. And as I mentioned in the demo, I purposely went through each step to show everybody how the loading and the merging works. But we do have an integration suite that can automate a lot of these tasks. The integration suite can handle multiple formats, so not only can you take in source files, in the form of a spreadsheet, we can take comma delimited files, we can accept XML files, and for uncoded terms, you can actually load the XML directly through the browser, so you wouldn't even have to interact with the loading utility. We also have web services that can work seamlessly with, a third-party system. So again, everything can be automated. You can schedule these jobs to run, and it can pick up these files to bring them into the Eclipse coding system.
Thank you, Mo. We had another question come in. What formats of WHO drug do you support?
We support the B2 and C formats, and we do plan on supporting the B3 format next year when it's released. The Eclipse coding system itself was really designed around the C format. That was our goal, is to, with the original implementation of the software, was to have it be fully compliant for the Uppsala certification process.
Thank you, Jeff. And do you support custom dictionaries as well?
Yeah, yes, we do. We are able to support custom dictionaries, and have the configuration process for those would vary. It would be some of them we have standardized offerings for, and then of course if it's something particular to a company, we can offer services around configuring that, or provide documentation on how to configure it yourself.
Thank you. And how do you perform dictionary upgrades in your software?
Mo here, I'll take this one. I showed the loader utility. You can use the loader utility to load dictionaries into the Eclipse coding system. You can also use the utility to load new versions of those dictionaries. When we load a dictionary into the Eclipse coding system, they are associated to a specific coding set. So when it comes time to performing a dictionary upgrade, you can point your coding definition to the new version of the dictionary, so the new version of WHO drug or the new version of MEDRA, and then you can run the impact analysis feature in our coding system. And the impact analysis, when you run impact analysis, what it does is it will show you all of the terms and codes that have been impacted as a result of the new version of a dictionary. So you can see right on the browser which codes, which terms have been changed in the dictionary comparison. You have the option to either keep the existing codes based off of the existing version of the dictionary, or you can choose to go with the newer code from the new dictionary.
Thank you, Mo. And just a few more questions. Are customers able to add new coding sets, or do they need to be added by Eclipse?
Thanks, Maureen. I want to do a quick clarification on Mo's response. I just wanted to point out that we do have to associate the dictionary with the coding set, but we only have one central install of the dictionary for each dictionary/dictionary version. So we only maintain one copy of a dictionary for any given version, and that can then be associated with multiple coding sets. I'm sorry. Could you repeat? Could you repeat the question again, Morgan?
Of course. Are customers able to add new coding sets, or do they need to be added by Eclipse?
Coding sets are added through the web interface via the configuration spreadsheet. The spreadsheet itself is very easy to configure, and we provide a baseline configuration along with directions on how to customize it. So it can be done. It can certainly be done by the customers or clients.
Thank you, Jeff. And we can only get to a couple more questions here, but one of the questions that came in, is there a fee for dictionary upgrades?
No, the client is able to perform their own dictionary upgrades. Eclipse will provide loading script updates as needed for all common dictionaries. We are able to do this as a service if they do not have the resources available to do them themselves, and it is included as part of our SaaS offering.
Thank you, Jeff. Another question that came in, how many terms per minute will your autocoder code?
This is always a hard question to answer. It's impacted by a lot of different things, including the quality of the data, the quality of your synonym lists, and the particular, since our system features a customizable coding algorithm, it really depends on how the algorithms has been configured as well. We've observed very high speeds with a throughput of up to 10,000 terms in 20 minutes. So we've also seen lower speeds depending on the algorithm configuration.
Thank you, Jeff. And that was all the questions that we've received on our end here.
Okay, excellent. I would like to thank everyone today for their time. I guess we have reached the end of our stated time slot. If you do have any questions or anything comes to mind after we leave the webinar today, please feel free to reach out to us via our webpage or our support@eclipsesol.com. Our support group will always direct you to the proper resources or answer your questions directly. And we will also be posting today's presentation on our website. So if you have anything that you'd like to go back and look at or listen or share with a colleague, please look to our website for this posting. And once again, we do appreciate your time, and we hope you found this of value. Please feel free to let us know if there's anything more that you'd like to see or any way we can improve any webinars in the future. And once again, have a great day. Thank you.